But don't forget, you can watch us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV, and it is officially King Cake season. In fact, I think the official date was like January the 6th, maybe, so we're a few days late on talking about the season's favorite treat. In many Mississippi restaurants, they're putting their own twist to a Mardi Gras favorite. Joining us is Austin Sumrall. He's the chef, owner of White Pillars of Biloxi. He was also the winner of the Food Network's Alex versus America Southern Comfort, and he's a James Beard Foundation-nominated Southern Farm-to-Table Restaurant and Cocktail Lounge. So he's doing good things in Biloxi is where I was trying to get to, Austin. So welcome back to Good Things.
Oh, thank y'all for having me. I'm happy to talk to you.
So happy Mardi Gras season. Is it crazy down there now?
It is. So I didn't grow up on the coast, and it's one of my favorite things about living down here. You kind of get like sad after Christmas is over. Not down here. We go straight into Mardi Gras, keep the party going. Parties keep happening. It's just a good old time.
So I resonate with that, Austin. So I grew up here in central Mississippi, but I went to the school at Southern Miss to the top, and it was the first time in my entire life at the age of 18 or 19 that you got out for Mardi Gras. Like you got off like Monday and Tuesday, and I was like, what is this? What is this Mardi Gras thing? Why didn't we have this, more up north? The cool thing is, though, over the years, and I think social media has a lot to do with it, the beauty of Mardi Gras has kind of spread, right? More people are celebrating it in their own way or sort of bringing it further up the state for sure here in Mississippi. There's even a lawnmower parade in the Delta for Mardi Gras. So that's how far the spirit has sort of traveled. But one thing that remains the same is king cake. People look forward to it every year. And you guys have found a way to maybe put a little bit of a different twist on it. So when did you decide, not growing up in Biloxi, but being a chef, that you would tackle something as traditional and beloved as a king cake?
So I think we'd been open a couple of years the first time that we decided to take a whack at it. And just like everything else that we make at White Pillars, it's made from scratch. All the ingredients are local. And so that was an important part to us. And we kind of had to figure that out before we could put it on the menu. I've always been a big fan of Mardi Gras, just hadn't been like so surrounded by it when I was growing up. And so it was kind of easy to jump right in there whenever we moved down to the coast. But our take, of course, we make it from scratch. We use a brioche dough. We use local strawberries in the filling. And then because we don't have any dyes in the restaurant, in order to get those different colored Mardi Gras sugars, we actually use natural stuff. So we make the purple with beets, we make the gold with carrots, and we make the green with mint. So we're actually flavoring and coloring those sugars in a natural way. And I really think that's kind of what sets it apart. Then we also, when we serve them at the restaurant, we warm them up, and then we serve it with cream cheese ice cream, which isn't something that necessarily everybody else does. I think that kind of sets it apart, too.
We have a photo off of your Instagram, Austin, of one of your king cakes on SuperTalk TV. And, yeah, I mean, you have to admit, like, the little bit of ice cream on top, it seems like it's just what it's always been missing. Like, it's always what king cake needed.
You wouldn't think it's not a huge reach or anything like that, but it does definitely set it off for sure.
Do you find people are excited about keeping a tradition like king cake, but exploring something different? Or do you have those hardcore traditionalists who feel like, I got to have, the very traditional sort of way, or it's not a king cake?
Well, I think that anybody that's a king cake connoisseur is, really more about quantity. So they want to eat all the king cakes. They want to try all the different king cakes. And, I think that's kind of where we fit in. Plus, this one is like personal sized, so it's not quite as much of a commitment as buying a whole king cake. And there's still tons of other great bakeries and stuff that do more traditional king cakes on the coast, and we get them and eat them still. So I think that there's room for all.
If I remember correctly, either your main street there in Biloxi or coastal Mississippi or somebody of that nature had a king cake crawl kind of sort of thing. If not, they can steal this idea here off Good Things, because there is like a list over at coastal Mississippi of restaurants in on the Mississippi Gulf Coast that have king cakes, and I think that would be a delicious way to eat your way through.
That'd be a good way to spend a day right there.
Yeah, to spend a day. Is there a baby in y'all's Austin? That sounded terrible if someone just tuned in.
There's not. No. There's some different rules in restaurants and bakeries and stuff. And I think actually, like, even in a bakery, you have to put the baby on the side or on the top or something like that. You can't hide anything that's not edible inside food.
I get that.
Unfortunately.
Well, I think it's neat that y'all have the different approach there in general at White Pillars of not using artificial colors or source sweeteners or things of that nature. What's it like? Like, does it look like a murder scene with your beets to turn?
Well, my pastry chef, Mike Macy, he's gotten it down pretty good over the years, and so he's got that process down. But yes, beets can get a little messy. We have a beet drink on our menu right now too, just because beets are in season, and they juice them, and that definitely looks like a murder scene.
Is there a color that's harder to get naturally, Austin, or have y'all found that when you're just using, quality ingredients or quality things, you can figure it out?
Well, I mean, they're not going to be as like bright and fake looking as using some dyes and things like that. But I think that's kind of the appeal of them. Mm-hmm. I think you can tell that those colors are more natural hues. We can get nice, pretty colors. They're just not like royal purple is pretty tough to do in the food world.
So if I'm coming to Biloxi and I'm looking for somewhere to dine, I want to stop in at the White Pillars there. Obviously getting the king cake for dessert. And hey, maybe you've had a rough day or a good day and you want to start with that. That's fine. But what do you recommend pairing with it? If someone hadn't come to White Pillars before for an actual meal, not just dessert, what are you guys famous for? Or what's on the menu right now that folks could get excited about?
Right. So I'd say that, what we're quote unquote famous for is that our menu changes every day. So we do farm to table local seasonal cuisine, which means that whatever we can get in that's the best that day, that's what goes on the menu. So we really do print our menus each and every day with the date on them, and probably something has changed on there each of those days too, depending on what we get from our farmers. So that's kind of how I tell people to approach it. You can't necessarily expect one thing or another. What you want to do is just let us take you on a culinary tour.
I am that guy. I'm your gal. I will go and I'll always ask, like, what do you recommend? Because that's why I came.
Right. Yeah, that's the way.
Does that not keep you up at night, Austin? Like changing every day? Like I just am a home cook and trying to figure out 5 days, and usually tacos happen a couple times a month. So I mean, stresses me out. Does that not, or is that part of the challenge for you?
Well, it's just I can't help it. I just think about food and menus and stuff all the time, and so it's a good outlet for me.
What's on the menu tonight?
So we're open Wednesday through Sunday. So
you got lucky
at White Pillars. We'll be open at Siren Social Club tonight.
I gotcha.
Which is actually where I am now. But yeah, so I mean, we always have lots of local and fresh seafood. We have some Mississippi raised pork chops on the menu right now that are super delicious. But yeah, you just can't go wrong. I always tell people if they're having trouble choosing, you just close your eyes and point. And close your eyes and point.
And obviously, how long will the king cake, will it be in just for the season, which I really appreciate?
Yes. So we start 12th night and then finish up on that Tuesday.
Which I think this year is March something.
Yeah, it's kind of late this year, so
yeah,
beginning of March, I believe.
Yeah, in that way. All righty. Well, where can we find out more about White Pillars? Do we need to make a reservation, or can we pop in? How does that work?
Yes, we have reservations available on Open Table. You can check us out on our website, BiloxiWhitePillars.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, White_Pillars. You can check out. We always post what's new on the menu on there, and you kind of keep up to date with that. But yes, we'd love to have anybody and everybody.
You need to tell your pastry.
Great with old fashioned.
Never thought of that. Okay. You need to tell your pastry chef he needs an Instagram post on the beets. I need to see all the beets.
The beets, yes.
All in action.
Maybe an in-depth on the sugars or something like that would be kind of fun.
Because I just see a wonderfully delicious horror scene, like of just beet juice looks like.
Absolutely.
Well, happy Mardi Gras,
Hard to get out of
Austin.
a white chef coat, too.
Exactly. I think it would be definitely Instagram worthy. I appreciate your time. Keep doing what y'all do best there at White Pillars. And happy Mardi Gras.
Absolutely. Happy Mardi Gras to y'all, too.
All righty. Stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.